Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It's December 3rd. Today's analysis is going to be about the Bitcoin analysis as well as some other altcoins that I'm seeing with promising movement for more upside. We'll also discuss some parts of the gaming and metaverse sectors, as well as some other assets that I see having more promise over the next few months. So first things first, let's start off with BTC, the king of crypto. If you've noticed one thing, the last several mornings, Bitcoin and NASDAQ futures have been very much moving together. Okay, you can go back the last several days and you can see even today, here's the local rejection that we just had less than 40 minutes ago. And here's that same rejection that we just had in the NASDAQ futures. This is not a coincidence. Okay, this is a widespread pressure that may be applied to all risk assets. So what this means for us is clearly there's some aggressive entities on the sell side as of right now who are basically capping price in BTC. The reason that's important for us is we know that for the most part, NASDAQ futures are still on a large uptrend. As long as we stay above this trend line right here, I believe BTC is not going to break down significantly anytime soon. I will say, however, that Bitcoin has another area to go to retest, which is somewhere down here. Brownie points to those of you, if you do know why it's going to come down here. I'm going to make y'all think about it for a second. Hopefully you're following me on Twitter because I often drop these hints and clues on my Twitter feed. Okay. If you don't know, it's very simple. CME gaps. Why are CME gaps important? Why do we care? When a market has closed out, so this was Friday. Okay. When a market has closed out like this, and then you have a big gap up candle like this. All right. And then the market shifts away from this level, leaving it behind. We call these inefficiencies in the market, especially on the Bitcoin CME futures. This is important because what you have is a lot of traders who are not able to cover their positions in this area or get in or out of their positions in this pocket or area. So what this does is it gives them an incentive to pressure the price down into this area to cover their positions, put on hedges, do whatever they need to do once price gets back into this area. And they are actively applying pressure to get price down into this area. Okay. So this is why CME gaps historically have been very important. If you see any gap really that comes up, more often than not, it'll get covered. Okay. Here's a gap right there, comes back, takes it out, gap filled, right? Here's a gap right here, pops up, moves up, boom, covers that gap. Okay. Historically, if you look back on a daily basis, I mean, almost every single gap you will see covered. Okay. There's probably very few gaps that don't get covered. Like this one got covered right there. Okay. This little gap right here covered right there. Okay. This one, okay, has yet to be covered. All right. Now that's going to be interesting. Do we cover it? Maybe we don't. Maybe we just don't care, right? But more often than not, percentage-wise, okay, BTC has been very good historically to cover gaps. You can see going back to 2018, that gap gets covered. This gap right here gets covered, okay? So these gaps are particularly important to us. Here's another gap. Wicks into it, covers it, okay? So these gaps are particularly important to us because we know statistically that there's a pretty high probability that it will get covered. When you know that there's such a high probability, that's all you need to know. It's not about 100% probability because first of all, in markets, there's no such thing as 100% probability or a guarantee. You just need to know that there are pretty high probabilities that this thing is going to get covered. Okay. So for the most part, what I'm looking forward to is let's see if Bitcoin sees more pressure as we head into Friday, as we head into the weekend, get this gap covered, and then start to move our way away from that level. I will say, however, that on a daily basis, I really don't think that we need to head any lower. Maybe just to cover the gap, we'll put in a quick wick and then close back up. But in this particular area, I've talked about this before. There's no need to break any further. You've retested the 100-day moving average, which is this yellow line, right? This is another key support, which is ascending trend line support. This is another key support, which is the descending trend line support. On top of that, you also have this previous SR level of 53.7K, also retested, liquidity taken. So all in all, BTC has done all the right things. Okay, but you're probably wondering, well, why the hell is it not going up? Well, I believe it's probably due to the pressure that we're probably seeing in the US equity markets, where there's still a decent amount of sellers. I think the price action is still trying to figure itself out. And also we're in December. Okay, most people are really reluctant to buy, and they're also really reluctant to sell because you're also so close to the end of the year where you just want to keep your profits in an unrealized manner until next year where you can book them, and then you don't have to worry about the rest of the year as we head into tax season. Or you do book your profits, but then who knows what we're going to get in terms of a rally or a sell-off into the end of the year, right? So a lot of people are really just, well, we have a lot of unrealized P&L. We don't really know what to do with it, but we'll just stay steady. We'll stay the course. This is the psychology in typically traded markets, which is around the December timeframe. Okay, so this is what I'm kind of wondering too is, well, we are pretty much at the end of the year. I don't think we'll see any aggressive sell-offs. I personally think that we should see one more pop up towards 60K, maybe as high as 62,000. But then after that, I really don't know, right? I don't know if we're going to have an end of the year rally where we, pop up all the way to 70K or something, or we just briefly pop up here and then roll back down. Okay, so it remains to be seen. All right. As of right now, I still have a bunch of spot positions in the market. I have begun de-risking a little bit, meaning just taking profits from my positions that I've been in good profit in. I don't think I want to put on any more spot positions, at least not right now. If I were looking at any assets that look really, really good, Luna is definitely one of them. Okay. In the advantage side, we actually took a trade around 51, 52, all the way up to the high of this channel, but then we missed out on this big chunk. I really didn't know we were just going to blast right through this, but it is what it is. Sometimes you catch a trade from level to level, and then it just, pulls back and just quickly reverses on you. And then you miss out on the next leg up. But point is, we made some good profit off this. Kudos to any of you in the advantage side that did. Now, the other things that look good in the market to me, okay, STEP is another asset that I've been watching for a little while, but I don't think STEP looks good to me here. I think STEP will look better to me way the heck down here around 40 cents if it does break down, because this is the key SR level that we're really kind of struggling to hold above, right? You could see right now, not able to hold above. If it sells off, I'm looking for 40 cents. Okay, keep an eye on that one. It's a fantastic platform if you haven't used it before. I think the slogan for STEP is the front page of the Solana ecosystem. I've used it multiple times for staking STEP. I've used it for just managing my overall staking and farming opportunities. I've used it just to be able to visualize all the things that I have on the Solana ecosystem in terms of my assets. It's really a fantastic platform. Other assets that look good. Where is it? Curve. Okay. So Curve, I think, again, same thing, not looking the greatest right here, but if it pulls back towards $4 down here, like right around this area, and it shows me that it's ready to bounce from here, then that's a trade back up to here. Okay. So it's really a level to level trade from here to here. That's it. Because clearly, CRV is showing us that it's not able to stay above this high. So if it's not able to stay above the high, then you just kind of look at it from a level to level perspective. All right. This is really the range that you should be playing, this high and then this low. That's it. Other assets that look good, Solana. Let's pull up Solana. Okay. Now, Solana is really interesting because for the most part, this is really the last area of consolidation before we sold off big. So I'm looking at this particular high around 245, 246 to give me possibly an area to sell some of my position and then wait. Okay. In this area, if I do sell, I don't think I want to get back into the Solana position until this level is cleared. Okay. So here I'm looking to maybe trim a little bit more Solana because it's a key area of resistance, right? Yeah, you have stops, probably from short sitting above this area, a lot of liquidity, a lot of people probably looking to sell in this area. Okay, so that's kind of how I'm looking at it. But if you have, let's just say, I don't know, 2-3 year view for Solana, and you have a great entry from, I don't know, $5, $10, $20, then you don't need to worry about this, right? I myself am someone who likes to book profits when I start recognizing that things are looking a little bit shaky, a little bit extended. There's headwinds from the Fed tapering and the Omicron virus and all this crap that's going on. When things like that happen, it looks a little bit funky to me in the market. And also just the fact that the market overall on a volume basis, even on a monthly basis, it's not really the best look, right? I told y'all before, I mean, this is a pretty clear indecision spinning top or a doji. Either way, it's a pause and potentially a reversal candle, right, for BTC. If that's the case for BTC, I mean, I am expecting, maybe similar pressure in Solana, in ETH, in Curve, basically in all cryptos. So if you're uncertain, then you kind of got to be uncertain for most things if BTC does decide to crap the bed. But overall, I still have a long bias in the market. I don't want to go short. I don't think I've been short in several months. If I do ever put on shorts, I would probably consider it just as a hedge. And that's really it. Okay. Other things that are fantastic that are happening in the crypto ecosystem. Matic, something that we've watched from very early this year. Where's Matic? Here's Matic. Okay. Matic is looking fantastic right at this daily level. Right. I do think that it may consolidate around this area, but if it doesn't and say you want to get in right here, well, then your next move is back towards this previous high, which is around $2 and where's the high? $2.82. Okay. I probably figure it hits $3, right? So that's a pretty nice trade, basically from 230 all the way to about $3 or so, if you are looking into it. And Polygon Matic has obviously a lot of great things working for it. They're working very closely with Ethereum, trying to help scale it, working on its own as a bridge, as an ecosystem network, connecting with many things like Sushi and Curve. I know it's working with Avalanche. So a lot of growth, right? A lot of growth for Polygon Matic, okay? Last but not least, a couple of new projects that I've just been brought to my attention. Impossible Finance. All right. Again, I have not done my research on this, so please do your own research. I don't have a position in this. It's not investment advice, just something for you to look into. Okay. Impossible Finance is one of them. You can read about it on their Medium. Okay. Impossible Finance is their handle. Basically, it looks like they're working very closely with Avalanche, and Avalanche being a bubbling ecosystem that it is, I would figure it's going to do really well. Okay. Other assets, Flux Protocol. Again, please do your own research, but they have a really great tokenomics model, in my opinion. So this is the one thing that kind of attracted me. The transparency of how much money they've raised, the lockup periods, as well as the token percentages and amounts. All right. So I found that part interesting. And then GuildFi, which is another one. Again, do your own research, not investment advice. I may be taking a position in this one, so I can't talk a whole lot about it, but make sure you guys check it out. Make sure you read into it, you look into it. All right. And then, of course, just looking at overall the gaming and metaverse sectors. One thing I'm bullish on for a little while now is Illuvium, YGG. And then I have a position in GameSwap down here. One of the reasons why I like GameSwap is simply because of the fact that how it's performed over the last 3 months to 1 year versus ETH versus BTC versus DeFi. The last week or two, it has not done so well. So this is definitely not a good look, but just letting y'all know I have a position in this. All right, make sure you do your own research, okay? I like gaming and metaverse assets that are looking to capitalize on the economy that they can build within games. And GameSwap does just that. Other games are also trying to accomplish that. I'll let y'all do your own research, but there are a lot of other things in the market that are trying to do something similar to GameSwap, right? For example, even Sand, where's Sandbox in here? Sand, right? Sandbox is working on trying to create its own internal economy where assets are traded, skins are traded, NFTs are traded. So this is the kind of stuff that you want your token to be used for within the ecosystem of the game itself. And I like stuff like that, okay? Other assets that I believe are promising, probably Alice, YGG, like I spoke about, obviously Axie Infinity. Other ones I have not really heard about. Tower, I've heard about a little bit. I don't know much about it. Engine Coin, obviously, an OG coin way back from 2017 and 18, might do really well. Everything else is really just up in the air, right? Make sure you do your research, okay? I think that's about it. So Matic, like I said, potential targets to the upside beyond $3 if this starts breaking out. I think the great thing about Matic is there's a lot of positive momentum to it. They're constantly building. They're working with Ethereum, with Sushi, AVAX, and they're constantly building new partnerships and bridges with other projects. So definitely one to be paying attention to. And that's really about it. All right. If y'all like the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Y'all take care. Good luck to you in the market, and we will catch up soon. Cheers.